Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. I've been wanting to share an ExpressVPN review with you for a long time. Today, I'll finally try to do that. I'm not sure if I can cover everything in just one video, but let's give it a try. As you can see, I'm currently on the ExpressVPN website. From here, we'll head over to My Account. So let's get started. Once we click on My Account, the first thing you'll notice is my activation code. I'm currently using a 3-day trial. Below that, you'll find a list of compatible devices where you can set up and use ExpressVPN. I'll come back to this in a bit, but first, let's look at the menu on the left and see what options are available. First, we have the dashboard, which we're already looking at. Next is Refer Friends. If you click here, you'll get a referral link like this. If I copy this link and paste it into a new tab, you can see that you can get 30 days of free service. This means both you and your friend benefit. If you share the link, you get 30 days free and your friend does too. However, they must sign up for a paid subscription to receive those extra 30 days for free. This benefit only applies if a paid plan is selected. Simply signing up won't work. Okay, moving on to the next option, Subscription. This section displays my current subscription details. Next is Account and Billing. Here you can view your account details, change your password, update credit card information, manage your subscriptions, and view your payment history. And if you're not satisfied, you can even delete your account from here. Okay, then we have the change log. This isn't really necessary for our purposes. All right, let's head back. Redeem. If we go to the Redeem section of the account, it will bring us to a page like this. From here, if you have a redemption code, you can use it to activate your account. Okay, now that we have covered those options, let's see what is available on our dashboard and how to use it. As you can see, I'll be using Windows, so I'll click on the Windows option. From here, you can download the application for Windows. You'll also find a code here for the VPN setup. I'll copy this code. The way I'm logging in here is exactly how you will need to do it as well. There are 3 options here: sign in with email sign-in link, and sign in with activation code. I'm going to log in and activate the service using the activation code. There, I've activated it. The activation process is now underway. It takes a few moments for the activation to complete. Just wait a moment. And look, I have been logged in. It shows here that my trial activation is valid until April 6th, 2026. Now, if I click on Manage Subscription, it will take you directly to the website where we can view the account management details. It is redirecting us back to the same page we were on earlier. If I scroll down a bit, we can see Appearance here. Under Appearance, you can change the look and feel of your application. I'm going to switch to the dark appearance. Next is the VPN protocol. From here, you will find various VPN protocol options such as Lightway UDP, Lightway TCP, WireGuard, OpenVPN UDP, and OpenVPN TCP. There are numerous options available here. Let's explore a few more options from the Setup VPN section on our main page. Under Setup VPN, you will find options for Mac, iPhone and iPad, Android, Google Chrome, Chromebook, Mozilla Firefox extensions, and Microsoft Edge extensions. Additionally, you can connect your router. To connect a router, there is a Set up a router option available here. There is a huge list in the drop-down menu. Simply select your router from that list and download the configuration for it. There is also an option to manage existing router. After that, we have Aircrove, which is their own specialized option. If you go to that section, you can see their bundle offers and the specific devices through which you can use their VPN. Then there is Linux, Fire TV and Kindle Fire, Apple TV and Android TV. For all of these setup options, you will find step-by-step tutorials provided here. For Xbox, you will need to use it by activating the DNS records from here. Similarly, for PlayStation, you have to use it via the DNS method. Finally, there is the option for smart home devices. If you need to use smart home devices, you will have to use their router or their specific devices. And for Media Streamer, you must use the IP or DNS address they've provided here. For manual configuration, you'll need to use OpenVPN. You can see the username and password here. You'll also find a list of countries. Clicking on one will download the configuration file. You can then use this configuration along with the username and password. Additionally, you can use these settings on any OpenVPN compatible router. This covers the overall device configuration. In the future, we'll try to review it with other devices as well. For today, we'll focus on the Windows application. So let's head back to the Windows app. As you can see, there's a split tunneling option here. We've seen before that we can add various applications to this list, which allows you to bypass them. This means you can keep certain apps outside the VPN's coverage, or set it so only specific apps use the VPN. I'm turning it off for now so we can use it across all applications. Next, we have Security Tools. Clicking on Security Tools will redirect us to a website where you can see our security information. It shows my current IP address, and then it will perform a DNS leak test. There are several other options available here as well. Okay, let's go back. Here we have the Auto Connect option. If you enable this, ExpressVPN will connect automatically as soon as your Windows starts up. Within this setting, you can choose specific options like join a secure Wi-Fi upon an unsecured Wi-Fi, or if I'm using Ethernet. You can apply these settings based on your requirements. Next is Connect on Launch. As I mentioned, this allows the VPN to open alongside Windows. There are also options to launch ExpressVPN on startup and show desktop notifications, among several others. Moving to the left menu, you'll find the Speed Test option. From here, you can test both your network speed and the VPN's performance. Under the Profile section, you can manage your account details, check the expiry date, and handle your subscription. In the Add-ons section, you have options to block ads, block malicious sites, block trackers, and block adult sites. Additionally, there is a Keys password manager and a dedicated IP option. Note that for a dedicated IP, you will need to purchase it separately. While the dedicated IP page is loading, let's look further down at the Help and Support section. Here you'll find a Contact Us option, guides on how to use the VPN, and various diagnostic tools like Enable Debug Logging and Share Event Diagnostics. You can also find legal information and app details. The Go Mobile section provides a QR code for a quick connection to your mobile device. We are currently reviewing the full range of ExpressVPN features. Now, let's try connecting to a few countries to see what kind of feedback and speeds we get. At the moment, the status is Not Protected. I have Singapore selected as the location. You can also see Smart Location, Recent Location, and VPN Protocol options. I've kept the protocol on automatic, but you can change it if you wish. There is also a map view available. Let's start by connecting to Singapore. As you can see, we are now connected. Now I'll open a browser and search for Hua IP to check our IP quality. Looking at the results, you can see we are indeed connected to Singapore, and the anonymity level is excellent, showing at 90%. Now, let's test the add-ons. I'll enable the Block Ads feature to see if it works. I noticed an ad appearing on the bottom right earlier, which is why I'm turning this on. Now, let's visit a speed test site. We'll use Ookla. I can still see ads on both sides of the page, which suggests the ad blocker hasn't kicked in yet. To apply the ad blocking settings properly, I'll disconnect and then reconnect the VPN. Now, let's reload the page and see if the ads are still there. As you can see, the ads are no longer loading, which means the ad blocker is now working successfully. Remember, you might need to reconnect or have the setting on beforehand for it to function. Now, let's run the speed test.
We are getting a very good ping of just 48 ms, the download speed is climbing and is very close to 100 Mbps, currently settling at around 93 Mbps. This is an excellent speed. Now for the upload speed. It's reaching nearly 132 Mbps, which is essentially the full extent of my available bandwidth. This is a very impressive performance overall. Now, let's try changing to another location.
All right, we're moving on from Singapore. Let's take a look here. We'll scroll down and head over to All Locations. In the All Locations tab, we'll check out the endpoints. Searching through the endpoints, we can see the United States. There are many IP options available here for the US. So let's go ahead and connect to Honolulu, USA. I haven't actually come across a Honolulu IP in any other VPN before. So let's see what the IP quality is like and what kind of speeds we can achieve. As expected, we are indeed connected to Honolulu, United States. The DNS is also showing the US, and the anonymity level is just superb. Now, let's run a speed test to see the performance. I should mention that our videos tend to be a bit long because we aim for in-depth reviews and try to demonstrate the connection centers. That's why the video length increases. For those who prefer shorter content, I'd suggest fast-forwarding or navigating through the chapters we provide. This will help you find the specific information you need. However, watching the full video will give you a comprehensive understanding of these products, including trial periods, how to access them for free, and their overall utilization. For the current country we are testing, we've reached the download speed of 74 Mbps and an upload speed of nearly 107 Mbps. Next, we'll test another country. Let's disconnect from this one. Let's head back. Here we see Canada. There's only one city available, so let's connect to Toronto, Canada. Now that we are connected and protected, let's check if our Canadian IP has updated. If it has, we'll see what kind of speeds we get. It seems the page is taking a bit longer to load. While that happens, let's switch over to the speed test. I have a feeling this Canadian IP might not be the best, which is why we haven't seen a great result yet. The IP has loaded, but the information hasn't appeared. Let's try reloading. Again, we try to show everything in detail, which is why the video is a bit long. The ISP is IPXO, but there's no hostname or DNS showing. Let's check the speed now. It's peering with North York, the ping is 262 milliseconds, and the speed is climbing past 40 and 50 Mbps. We've noticed that ExpressVPN doesn't always hit those extreme speeds of 300 to 400 Mbps that we've seen with some other VPNs. However, this is a very stable VPN. Everything feels well balanced and calibrated, which is why it has such a strong reputation, top-tier service, and excellent ratings.
Okay, let's go ahead and change the location. We'll switch from Canada and see what other options are available. Let's head over to All Locations. Here we can see Japan, so let's connect to Tokyo. There are a vast number of countries listed here, and it's practically impossible to test each one individually. So we'll select a few and run speed tests to give you an idea of the overall performance you can expect. We've already demonstrated 3 locations so far. Now let's look at the anonymity level for Japan. It's at 90%. You'll also notice there are virtually no advertisements here. They are non-existent. This confirms that our ad blocker and other settings are functioning perfectly. Over here, we see the service is being provided through an ISP called IPXO. This suggests that these are likely data center IPs. For those of you who work with IPs, we'd love to hear about your experience with this in the comments. We are also curious about how effective this type of VPN is for those who use SOCs or proxies. As you can see, we've achieved a download speed of 81 megabits per second here. Moving on to the upload speed, it's already surpassed 200 megabits per second and even crossed the 250 mark. In certain instances, we're seeing exceptionally high upload speeds. Let's test one final country before we wrap up and reach a conclusion. There's no need for further testing, as we've already gained a solid understanding of the speeds provided. Visiting too many countries isn't necessary because, as you've observed, many services utilize the same ISP. But here we see the ISP has changed, along with the anonymity level, as we are now in the Republic of Lithuania. While they may change the ISP in some cases, I've mostly noticed them providing services through a single ISP. Here it is switched to an ISP named UAB. We can also see that the ping is quite high here. Let's check the speed. It's climbed above 50 megabits per second, which is still a very respectable speed. Based on this video, what insights did you gain about ExpressVPN? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments. We look forward to your feedback. Let us know if you'd like to see more videos like this or which VPN service you want us to review next. We'll do our best to provide that information. That's all for today. Allah Hafiz, take care, goodbye, and good night.